Back with 3 Talk. Cyberbullying can occur in the privacy of the home, and the abuse is usually broadcast over the internet or cell phones. Joining me now is cyberbullying expert Dr. Piet Streicher from bulksms.com to explain how this type of psychological abuse occurs in our community and the adverse effect it is having on our youth. Also rejoining him is educational psychologist Tshepiso Molefe. Welcome, Peter. What exactly is cyberbullying?
Cyberbullying is where one or more children use technology to hurt other children or to bully other children. And this technology could be cell phones, the internet, social networks. Many technologies could be used to hurt other kids. So when you say when children use the technology to hurt others, what are we talking about? They could spread false rumors about other children, make fun of other children, harass other children. Sometimes they would obtain personal information which the victim was not intending to share, and they would publish that information. The key difference is nowadays children can publish information very widely. It could be read by anyone, it could be there forever, and it's easy to find. So it can cause a lot of damage. What has, in the past few years, what has really got to me as a parent is, the sex videos. There are two issues here. There's the spreading of the video and, of course, the underage sex that is happening. That's right. And then you ask yourself, where were these kids who were doing this? And, then all of this is shared. So like 200 kids have this video within minutes. Yes. So again, it shows information can spread very quickly. And it also shows that another phenomenon like sexting, it's very much part of cyberbullying. So you could have a situation even where one kid shares private pictures of herself with her boyfriend, and then when they break up, then the boyfriend spreads it to everyone. So there is some overlap there. And then also videos of kids fighting, and sometimes people are instructed to record that, So the whole fight is set up, and it is being recorded and then spread. Part of the problem is the kids that take part in spreading the information. It's not just one perpetrator. It could be many kids that find something funny or shocking, and then they're really part of the problem if they spread the information. But this is a viciousness at another level, isn't it? And it's becoming more and more prevalent. Yes, but I think we shouldn't blame technology. We must remember that these motivations have always been there, and technology could be used for many beneficial things as well. So the key is to find coping mechanisms to offer education, to really teach children how to use technology appropriately. So then the question is, when should one be, because like you say, Peter, it is, technology is beneficial, but when should you give them carte blanche, and maybe when should you just take it back and say, after a certain time, or, after the weekend or before the weekend, you can't use it, some kind of boundaries. I don't know. I think the key thing, when a child is bullied, it is critical that they are able to tell their parents about it. So if there's any risk that their parents might take the phone or technology away from them, they'll be more reluctant to tell their parents about it. So the solution is not to take it away. It's really, when you give a child a cell phone, you must set the boundaries. You have to explain to them what the risks are. And parents are a little bit on the back foot in the sense that they didn't grow up with these same technologies. So they have to put in a little bit more effort to learn what are the risks, what are the benefits of technology, and explain that to their kids. Use the technologies themselves so that they can teach their kids from a point of experience. Young kids, yes, parents should monitor what they're doing, and it should be informed consent. So they must tell their kids, I'm giving you a cell phone, but I'm going to monitor the usage thereof until I have confidence that you can use it responsibly. That is not something you can do with a 16-year-old, suddenly if something goes wrong. You have to do it at the point where you give the child the first phone. Right at the beginning. Let's go to Anonymous in Soweto. Hi, Anonymous. Anonymous?
Hi, Noeleen. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. What's your question or comment?
Actually, I just wanted to say that bullying is not a very good thing. You know, I come from a very violent background at home, and you in situations where you find my mom and dad were always fighting over small things, you know, and you know, this has affected me in a very bad way, because now I find myself always alone, you know, and after I've maybe bullied somebody without actually knowing that I bullied them, you know, and I find myself apologizing now and then to other people after I've realized that I've hurt them so badly, you know. And I just wanted to say that it's not a very good thing, you know, and it's still affecting me right now. I don't know how to find help, you know, talk to somebody and speak to somebody, you know. I don't know what to do.
Can I ask something anonymous? At the very moment when you feel you need to retaliate or react to what this person is doing to you, what goes through your mind? What is your reason for coming with a comeback that has that intensity that you have to come back much later to apologize? What's going through your head?
You know, I used to find myself in situations where I used to, you know, I used to go to family friends, you know, who would talk to me and tell me, you know, what you did is not good. And I'll find a way to apologize to those people. I'm not sure if I'm making any sense.
No, I am asking what makes it so difficult for you to hold back and not retaliate. I think at some level there has to be an acknowledgement that there's a reason why you respond and why your response ends up being a bullying kind of behavior. And you finally, later, you realize the consequence of what you've done and the impact that you've done, and then you apologize. But at that split second when you're doing it, obviously you don't realize it. Why?
I become so very angry, you know, because you see when somebody like your mother is always crying, you know, you see your mother crying and you see your brother or your sister always crying. It hurts you, and you don't want to find yourself in situations like that, but you always see yourself crying, you know, and you just fight. You know, all you learn to do is fight.
Have you ever thought, Anonymous, of going to see a counselor?
I think that's a necessity now. I have just realized that.
If you think about it from the sense that you have a trapdoor, there's a particular button, a couple of buttons. When somebody steps on those buttons, they unleash the warrior in you, that you don't want to feel vulnerable. You don't ever want to be put in that position where you are hurting, you are reliving the memories of the pain you felt when your mom and dad were fighting. So when somebody steps on those buttons, you immediately instinctively react. And if you can understand that, then you realize you are no longer responding with emotional intelligence. You're no longer rationally dealing with what you are going through, or necessarily what this person is doing to you. You're just impulsively reacting from an instinct, you know, and you need to learn how to manage and how to cope with that based on what happened and how to deal with what happened in the past with your parents.
All right, Anonymous, please seek help. I think it's very important, and I think that you'd realize it more than everybody else, that you actually do need to be speaking to someone. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. When it comes to cyberbullying, if I have been bullied online or whatever, what are my rights?
Okay, firstly, the mistake a lot of children make is they retaliate online. So, and that often escalates the issue significantly. So my advice to children is not to retaliate online. They should rather share their feelings or hurt with someone that they trust, whether that's a teacher or their parents. And in terms of their rights, in serious instances where children are receiving death threats, then they can take it to the police. They can get a restraining order to deal with it. So there are mechanisms using the law to protect themselves.
Let's leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us. What role does the media play in highlighting school bullying? When we come back, we meet the director of a documentary called Lunchbox Bullies, who has captured some of the most heart-wrenching stories on film.